This is Mr. Hanna with your Chapter 1 test review. The test will be Tuesday, the 17th. There are 25 questions. 20 of them are multiple choice. 5 of them are short answer. Sorry about that. 3 of the questions, you'll have to write the verbal from the algebraic. These are all the multiple choice parts. I'll do the multiple choice parts and then the short answer. I'm working an example of every type of problem. So if you were given this expression, you would write that 4 times x cubed, right here, minus, this is division, so the quotient of 7 times x and 3. You have 3 problems where you have to simplify expressions. Those will either be distributive property or combined like terms or a combination of both. So if you had something like this expression, 2 times the quantity, 4x squared plus 3x plus 2, and then we were going to subtract 2x plus 4, the first thing we would have to do is do our distributive property. We take the 2 and we'd multiply it by 4x squared. That gives us 8x. We take the 2 and multiply it by 3x. That would give us 6x. We take the 2 and multiply by 2 to get 4. We still have this minus 2x, and we still have this plus 4. So then we combine like terms, and I underlined those to help you see 6x and minus 2x are like terms because they both have x. The 8x squared is not because it's got that squared. They have to have the same variable and the same exponent. 6x minus 2x is 4x. 4 plus 4 is 8, and we still had that 8x squared. So our answer is 8x squared plus 4x plus 8. We have 2, where we have to write an algebraic expression for a verbal. If I give you this, 40 less than, or 40 less, excuse me, not less than, 40 less the sum of 12 and x. 40 goes in front, because 40 less means we're taking something away from that 40. What we're taking away is sum, which means we better see parentheses, because we have to do this sum before we do the subtraction. Then we put 12 plus x in there. Now I want you to pay particular attention to this note over here on the side. 40 less is 40 minus, but 40 less than is minus 40. You have 2 problems that are order of operation problems. You just plug it into the calculator exactly the way it's written and you'll be fine. You know, order of operations, you're supposed to do parentheses first, then exponents, then multiply or divide from left to right. So whichever one you see first, you do first. Then add or subtract from left to right. So in this problem, I have 16 minus 8 divided by 4 plus 3. The first thing I'm doing is the 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Then I have 16 minus 2 plus 3. 16 minus 2 is 14. Notice I did that subtraction before I did the addition. And then 14 plus 3 is 17. That's the answer. You have 2 problems that you have to evaluate a given expression, and they're going to give you the values, the numerical values for the variables. So if I had a equals 5 and b equals 2, the expression 3a plus 2b squared, I would replace the a with the 5 and the b with the 2. Notice how I put those in there? I put the parentheses there to show the multiplication, because it's not 35, it's 3 times 5. And it's not 22 squared, it's 2 squared. So then we do order of operations. 2 squared is first. That gives you 4. So then we multiply. 3 times 5 is 15, and 2 times 4 is 8. 15 plus 8 is 23. And yeah, you can use the calculator once you get the numbers and substitute it in. Then we have 2 that it says use the distributive property. What they mean by that, you take 6 times 490. Well, you'd try to get this so it's 1-digit numbers. You'd go 6 times 500 and 6 times minus 10. That gives you 3,000 minus 60, which is 2,940 or 2,940. If I had 12 and 1, or 12 times 1 and 1/4, I split that 1 and 1/4 into 1 plus 1/4. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 1/4. Since the numerator is 1, it's just like dividing 12 by the denominator, which is 4, so that gives you 3. And 12 plus 3 is 15. You have one solve an equation that already has the variable isolated on one side, so you just do the math. 3 squared is 9, 6 times 5 is 30, 14 divided by 2 is 7, 30 minus 9 is 21, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. You have one where you have to find the solution, and you're given a replacement set, x equals 3, 4, 5, or 6. So you have to take each one of those numbers and put it in for x until you find the one that makes the equation true. So I take 3. 2 times 3 is 6, divided by 3 is 2 plus, that should be 4, no, 2 times 3 is 6, divided by 3 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, not 5, that's false. 2 times 4 is 8, divided by 3 is 2 2/3, plus 1 is 3 2/3, that's false. 2 times 5 is 10, divided by 3 is 3 1/3, plus 1 is 4 1/3, still false. 2 times 6 is 12, divided by 3 is 4, plus 1, the 5. That's true. So our solution is not 5, it's the number we put in to make the equation true. It is 6, x equals 6. Notice it's in the set notation. You have one. This is still multiple choice, where you have to find the area of a triangle. The area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. They give you a base of 12 meters and a height of 7 meters, so we go 1/2 of 12 times 7. Half of 12 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42. It's in meters. It's area, so it better be meters squared. Make sure you have the right units. You have one probability problem. You got a bag of 6 green, 5 yellow, 4 blue. You want to find the probability of getting a green. Well, probability is what you want over the total. So the first thing we got to do is get the total. 6 plus 5 plus 4 is 15. 6 over 15, because we had 6 green, is 2 over 5. 0.4. A lot of times we give probability as a fraction, but it can also be given as a decimal. And on this particular problem, your answers will be in decimal. You have one problem where you have to find the mean. They'll give you a list of data. You have to add up all the numbers and then divide by how many numbers you had. That's how you find the mean. You have your last, well, it may not be your last because the questions will be mixed up. So you got one median problem. Now, again, they'll give you a list of data. You have to put it in order, find the middle number. Now, if there are 2 middle numbers, you add them together and divide by 2 because you're finding the average, so you'll find out what's in between those 2 points. Then we get to the short answer. 3 of them will be right and evaluate, which means each one of those is a 2-part answer. Write and evaluate an expression for the number of drinks in 6 12-packs of Coke and 3 20-packs of Diet Dr. Pepper, or of Dr. Pepper. So 6 times the 12 plus 3 times the 20, you get 132. You have one problem where they give you a small chart of data and you are expected to find the mean, median, and mode. So that one's a 3-part answer. The mode is the number you see most often. And then you have a problem where you are to write an expression for the area and then evaluate it if x equals 4 centimeters. Well, that's a 2-part answer. First, you got x times 2x plus 1. Area is length times width, so you take x and you multiply it by 2x plus 1. X times 2x is 2x squared. And x times 1 is x. That's our distribution. Then it said evaluate it if x equals 4. So we put 4 in where x is. We have 4 squared, that's 16, plus 4. And we're going to multiply the 2 times 16. And we're going to add the 4 to get 36. And I said it was centimeters, so 36 centimeters squared.